popcorn. I smell popcorn. All of a sudden I want to eat some popcorn. And in order to eat some popcorn, I gotta buy some popcorn. What's up, everybody? Let's do another sales lesson from the living room. Look, we've all been there, right? You're sitting there in the movie theater. You're about to chill out. You snuck some snacks in because you're cheap, right? We've all done it. It's okay. Actually, you don't have to be cheap. You have to be smart. Sneaky. I like it. But you start to smell popcorn. You're looking around. Nobody's got popcorn. They pumped it in, haven't they? And you now want to go buy it. That's why I call this the popcorn effect. How do we paint the mental image for you to visualize experiencing something? That's how I get you to buy something. Now, unfortunately, we can't be pumping in funky smells in our sales calls, right? If I sell suntan lotion, I can't really spray the beach around. That's a ridiculous example. But there are other things we can use when it comes to senses that help us get a customer to put in their mind experiencing a result of what you do. So let me give you an example. I used to sell swimming pools, and I use this very well. One of the things you want to look for is how does someone interpret information, right? And I would encourage all of you to actually Google a little bit more of this. But what I'm looking for is someone a visual learner? Are they a kinesthetic learner? Oh damn, they're gonna make me spell kinesthetic. Kinesthetic. We'll try and do a little spell check on that later. Or auditory, right? Basically, they look at things, do they feel things, or do they hear things? And I'm looking to see in my presentation or my initial conversations, cues. Visual people tend to look up for answers, right? They tend to say things like, I see what you mean, or I see what that looks like, or I can see how that could be. So I'm trying to just look, and if I get some information like that in an initial conversation, I would just put in my notebook, V, right? Visual learner. If I handed them something and they picked it up, right? If they're hey, let me see that, right? They wanted to actually hold it and they wanted to grab. Let's say I was showing them a piece of tile and they wanted to touch it. Then I kind of got the idea that they were a kinesthetic learner. If they use things like, I hear what, and by the way, a kinesthetic person might say, I feel your pain, right? Auditory learners might say, I hear you, right? I hear what you're saying. They tend to be the kind of person that reads out loud, right? If you hand them something and you can tell that they're reading something out loud, it's because they want to hear the words coming out. They may ask you to repeat something. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you the first time. So what I'm looking for is these little tiny clues as to how I'm going to position my product or service at the end of it. So really sales is in 3 stages, right? It's identify, right? First stage is really identifying problems, right? And building credibility and all that stuff like that. Then 2 is presenting a problem. And that's where most sales end, right? You ask for the order here, right? That's where most salespeople will ask for the order. There's actually a third piece, which is get them to visualize feeling better or doing what you do. So for me, it was simple when I was selling swimming pools. IDing problem, you don't have a pool. What kind of pool do you want? Present pool, let's build it or design it and price it out. And then here was the kicker that sold more pools than anything. Could I get you to experience the pool before it actually existed? So if I had found out certain things about a customer and knew this information, it could be the same pool, same price, different buyer. Look, Mrs. Prospect, so when you come home from a long day of work and you see some kids' bikes in your driveway that aren't yours, and you walk around back and you see your family in your backyard having the best time ever, as opposed to seeing your kids' bikes not in your garage because they're down at the neighbor's pool. You know you've done the right thing. Boom, visual close. Kinesthetic. Look, Mr. Prospect, so when you come home from a long day of work and you just feel totally worn out, and you come back in that backyard, kick off your shoes, hit your feet in that water, and everything's over, all the problems of the day, you know you've done the right thing. Let's get started. Auditory learner. Mrs. Prospect, so you know when you come home from a long day of work, Yes, the kids have been yelling, things have been going off like crazy, but you come on back home on that Friday and you can already hear the laughter in the backyard, all right? And before you even walk back there, you know that it's about to be relaxation station. You know you've made the right decision. Look, folks, this is high level shit. You don't try and incorporate this before you've got some of this stuff down, right? But if you start getting good and you're already at the top of your game and you want to solidify where you are in your sales career, you add the popcorn effect in your game, over.